and the amazing array of fruit and vegetables it provides throughout the year.
Oh, they look so beautiful.
But he's not alone. His Majesty King Charles III has long championed the kitchen garden and the importance Raymond Blanc is passionate about his garden at Le Manoir 4 Saisons and the amazing array of fruit and vegetables it provides throughout the year.
Oh, they look so beautiful.
But he's not alone. His Majesty King Charles III has long championed the kitchen garden and the importance of growing sustainable, seasonal food. Now, Raymond has been invited to take a glimpse behind the scenes at the productive gardens of some of the nation's most spectacular royal palaces.
This garden is a true inspiration for creating wonderful dishes.
Raymond will be travelling the length and breadth of the kingdom. He'll meet the dedicated people who care for these unique gardens.
Little genius, how do you manage?
It's really about inspiring our visitors and showing people what they can grow in their own gardens.
My celery like that already.
He'll celebrate the extraordinary edible treasures they produce with their chefs who use them every day.
Give me any food, especially when it comes from the garden. Perfect.
Is the egg running?
Oh la la.
Speechless, chef, speechless.
Absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't mind having that every day.
No, not bad.
Inspired by his travels, Raymond will also share mouth-watering recipes of his own.
Heavenly. I hope you're going to make it in your own home. Bon appetit.
All fit for a king.
Long live the king.
Long live the king.
Join me as I journey through the royal kitchen gardens.
His Majesty King Charles III is both a keen amateur gardener and a devoted advocate of homegrown produce.
His Majesty's knowledge of food, of garden, how to grow garden, all sort of heritage, rare varieties organically is immense.
The ultimate symbol of this public and private passion is the magical kitchen garden he's created at his own family home in the Cotswolds, Highgrove House. Today, Raymond will be exploring this magnificent estate and discovering the 40-year labour of love behind the King's most personal commitment to eating local, seasonal food.
How is Her Majesty the King involved in this programme?
Well, everything that we do here is a reflection of his vision. You know, the Prince's Foundation was set up because of his passion, and so that's what we continue.
Resident chef Luke Windybank will be serving a taste of Highgrove on a plate, his rosemary chicken with roasted butternut squash.
I really love your dish. It's simple, it's easy to make at home. You use all the produce, okay, of a magnificent garden, and I love it very much.
And Raymond will be making more divine dishes of his own, salad lyonnaise and roasted fig pan perdu.
Of course, with that, you can serve a beautiful ice cream, and you'll be in heaven. Fig heaven. Welcome to the wondrous Highgrove Gardens.
Built between 1796 and 1798, Highgrove House is one of the Cotswolds' most majestic Georgian mansions. Almost 200 years after it was built, it became a royal residence when the estate was purchased by the then Prince of Wales in 1980.
Just imagine calling this wonderful place home.
Today there are 17 acres of truly spectacular gardens. Through His Majesty's charity, the Prince's Foundation, the estate is also a centre for courses in traditional heritage crafts, from furniture making to textiles.
What a wonderful place to come and visit.
Divided into an interconnected series of outdoor rooms, from the iconic Time Walk and the Sundial Garden to the Persian-inspired Carpet Garden, each one reflects the personal interests of the king.
The most exciting place for me has got to be the wall garden, and I cannot wait to see what the gardeners are growing here. I must say I'm a bit envious because these walls are so magnificent. And of course it protects these wonderful gardens. And it adds also an element of romance. It makes it secret. It's hidden. It's beautiful. I love it.
A picture-perfect mix of productive and ornamental, the vegetable beds are punctuated with carefully trained trees, curving tunnels and elegant arbours.
What a beautiful place, and full of colors. Orange, yellow, purple, aubergines, flowers everywhere, colors everywhere, and butterflies actually everywhere. That makes me very happy. It's a real garden.
There are over 120 different kinds of fruit and vegetables, and gardener Mel is part of the team tasked with tending the impressive 1-acre plot.
Hello, Mel.
Hello.
Bonjour, bonjour. I'm very interesting. What are you up to?
So I'm just direct sowing some giant winter spinach here.
Has there got any chance to grow as big, as gigantic as you would like to?
Yeah. We direct sow a lot of our veg just because this ground is warm enough and a lot of vegetables.
And what do you have here?
So this is a mulch. So this would be a mixture of manure and compost from the wider estate.
That's a good mulch. I can see it. It's nice, it's sticky. The smell is really acidic, beautiful. So I think your spinach will do very, very well.
Yeah.
Besides the spinach, what else is going here?
So behind us here we've got chard,
Yeah.
rainbow chard.
Okay.
So we grow this for the ornamental look because it's so colourful and it's edible.
Because it tastes nice.
And yeah, very nice with lots of butter.
And then we have the...
And then we've got a mixture of herbs here. So
Yeah.
we have Greek basil, your classic basil, sweet Genovese, and French tarragon as well.
When the king comes in, does he use a lot of the produce from the garden?
Yeah, so everything is grown for him.
Okay.
And anything that he doesn't eat is taken to the restaurant and then they use it.
I think it's wonderful, that concept, okay, of from vegetables to table.
Yes,
And
definitely.
I think that's why we all know he was one of the very first person who truly connected soil science to vegetables, to
Yes,
sustainability,
definitely.
and
Yeah.
creating that powerful link that we cannot go on to grow food with chemicals.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, he was one of the forerunners of it since the 80s. So yeah, and the whole garden is managed organically, and it works.
After the break, Raymond uncovers His Majesty's hands-on approach to the garden.
Does the king help you a little bit on the weeding side?
Yes.
Oh my God!
And in-house chef Luke Windybank will be serving a stunning celebration of butternut squash.
Look at that, how gorgeous it is. Eh?
Lovely, lovely.
Nature is magical. It's artwork, no less.
Welcome back to Raymond Blanc's Royal Kitchen Gardens and Highgrove House, His Majesty the King's country estate in the Cotswolds. Later, resident chef Luke Windybank will be creating a tempting treat: rosemary chicken with roasted butternut squash.
It's brilliant because you got the texture, the crispiness, the color. It's not a beige food, you know, it's so alive.
But first, although Highgrove is still very much a private family home, its gardens have been open to the public since 2011, which calls for a delicate balancing act for the hard-working team who care for them.
So Mel, can you tell me the challenges of looking after this garden and welcoming the guests?
Okay.
And feeding the king?
Well, because we are organic, we don't use any chemicals, so a lot of weeding is all done by hand. So that's quite challenging for us. We're never on top of the weeds. But it's quite nice, I think guests come round and they see it, it makes them feel a bit better about their own gardens. I always have people come up to me and say, thank God you've got weeds.
Yeah.
And it's just accepting that you're working with nature, you're never going to beat it, so it's just taking your time and trying to enjoy it at the same time.
How many gardeners are you?
So at the moment we have about 4 or 5 full-time and 2 part-time and a couple of trainees. So yeah, not many, and it's a big job.
Yes, you must be very much in love with what you are doing, because such a few gardens to create something so beautiful must be huge efforts. How do you combine everything?
A lot of planning and looking at the weather and planning ahead for the week. But yeah, you just have to focus on the most urgent jobs, which for us at the moment is harvesting.
And those salads?
And then we have a mixture here of a variety of heritage lettuce.
For the winter or for now?
So they're for now, so we can literally start harvesting them now.
Yeah.
And then we've got more lettuce coming that we're going to put in the blanks, and that will be lettuce that will go on for October and November.
Does the king help you a little bit on the weeding side?
Yes. So
Oh my God!
We'll come in after the weekend and we'll find prunings or piles of weeds that he's been busy gardening over the weekend.
Because he's in love with gardens.
Yes,
as
definitely.
Simple as that.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Mel. It was really
That's okay.
Lovely. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. So it's a pleasure to have met you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Inspired by Highgrove's huge variety of heritage lettuce, chefs turn to his own harvest for a perfect summer lunch dish: salad lyonnaise.
Lyon is a belly of France. It's a self-proclaimed capital of gastronomy, where the pig is a god. And of course, in that salad, you will have a little bit of this piggy here. Not very much, just a little. So it's a very simple dish, very peasant, very rural. So all those ingredients you need: my dressing, French dressing, very simple. First, a bit of shallot. I just need half. To cut it quite finely. So voilà, très bien. Then I will add my Dijon mustard, where else? Okay. So just be generous. So then I'm going to put a little dash of vinegar to start with. And we're going to start mixing this element. Voilà. Vive la France. C'est vrai? Très bien. So then a little bit of oil, and the mustard will absorb. Go slowly, don't go too fast. Trickle it in, gentle. You can see how the mustard plays its role, emulsifies, it absorbs the olive oil, it soaks it up. It creates a beautiful silky dressing. So a bit of water to thin it down a bit further. Check. Look how lovely it is. Of course, a bit of salt. It doesn't need very much, no? Remember, that's a nice crunch. Voila. That's it, 1 big pinch. Of course, you want pepper, black or white. Now I'm going to put a few herbs, and my mum would always put tarragon. Wonderful flavor. No more than that, plenty. And a bit of chive, and voila. So first thing, you mix that together. Voila. That will give that gorgeous little flavor behind. I love to create, food's about creating layers after layers after layers. And then you feel the magic of food, the magic of herbs. So then the chive. So just a quick stir. So that's good. So that is prepared. So now we have our salad. That's a frisée, very, very beautiful frisée. And the way I want to show you something, maybe you think all of you know. I want you to save some time. Okay, look, the way I'm going to do my salads, and I mean all salads. You hold it here. You've got the root here, which holds all these leaves. I'm going to tie it up together. I've removed all the bad leaves first, the leaves which are. Then I'm going to cut here. Voilà. That I don't need. And now you just have a mouthpiece. Voilà. And every piece, you won't have these horrible long leaves, you don't know, drooping out of your mouth, embarrassing yourself and everyone. Okay, voilà, up, and voilà. Now I'm going to wash it, okay? Look at this, gorgeous. So that goes for any salad. And it's small pieces, nice texture. I'm going to take a bit of mash. I love mash because this one is quite bittersweet. This one is quite a sweet, gorgeous flavor. I'm going to add a bit of vinegar for the beastly little things to come out, if there's any. After all, they grow in tares, they grow in the earth. Okay, so here we are. I am ready. So I'm going to. Oh God. Okay, Adam, can you give me that? Where were you? I didn't see you for about half an hour. Can you give me the...
Do you want me to take it off and dry it for you?
No. We'll do it together, Adam. Together is good. Okay, so just... Yes, this one. It's a garden. Voilà. Très bien. Next one. So that's a very... I remember doing the salad at my home. Remember, I'm a post-war boy, okay? And every day we would have salads from the gardens. And every day I would have to shake it off. Now, you got this wonderful, and you just da-da-dee-da-da, pom-pom, pom-pom, da-da-dee-da-da. Easy. It's amazing. And let's have a look. You see? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to have my salad here. I'm going to put the dressing at the bottom, ready to go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, voila. And I put my salad on the top, ready to be tossed. No? Look at that, how gorgeous it is. And voila. And of course, since we're talking about a Lyonnaise salad, here's a piggy, here's a bacon, and that you need to throw it out. Very simple. Voila. Plenty. And that will take about roughly 4 minutes to 5 minutes. So my bacon is absolutely crispy, golden, wonderful smell. So, and all what I'm going to do is that, voila, put it here. And now I'm going to poach my eggs, which is the last element of my salad lyonnaise. So all what I need is water. So put it on full. Now I'm going to check up the quality of that egg. And that, there's something special. The egg white is completely tightly wrapped around the egg yolk. Look at it. And there's pressure. When you touch it, there's resistance. And you're going to have the freshest egg. Absolutely. Okay? That's the way to see it. And of course, a bad egg the egg white will spread around the place and it will be a big mess in your pan. Okay, with this one, so you get up, you just put it here. Just right, you slide it nicely. Voila, baby. And you're going to see what's happening here. It's amazing. Because you can see that white completely gather around this French yolk. Beautiful. And that'll take 3 minutes. And so stir your side now. Voila, look at that. So now we are ready to serve. I'm going to add a bit of bacon. Voila. Oh, lovely. It's a beautiful salad. And now, you can break your little crouton like that, voila. Or break it up like that, just in it, a bit of texture, that's about texture. Just a bit of chive. Voila. So egg is ready. I'm going to fish it. Fish. Gorgeous. Oh, place it here. Of course, a bit more pepper. Tiny grain of salt, very little. Et voila, you have almost the perfect salad lyonnaise. But a few more shallots, deep fried on the top of it here, is always a welcome, really texture and flavor. Bon appétit.
Coming up, resident chef Luke Windybank rustles up his simple but satisfying rosemary chicken with roasted butternut squash.
I think you're a genius. It's a perfect summer dish.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to eat it.
And Raymond explores a very different kind of productive garden with plants to die for.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. You'd see it on your fingers.
Good, eh?
Welcome back to Raymond Blanc's Royal Kitchen Gardens. Today, chef's soaking up the horticultural splendours of Highgrove, His Majesty the King's family home in Gloucestershire. Later, Raymond will be creating a fruity French brunch favourite, roasted fig pan perdu.
Bon appétit.
But first, Highgrove's resident chef Luke Windybank is on the hunt for ingredients to give Raymond a taste of the garden on a plate.
I quite often come down here to just get inspiration for recipes and just see what's in season and what's good at the moment. It's always good to take inspiration from nature because the colours are just wonderful and you can get lots of different ideas to go with different things that you're thinking about cooking, and you can see what's good and what works. And sometimes just seeing different colours together on a plate just makes things just stand out and look alive. I think it's quite important that we're organic because there's a lot of damage we're doing to the environment all around the world in so many different ways. And just to do a little bit of good by using all natural fertilisers and not putting any pesticides on there and killing all the insects and just letting nature do its thing and using natural solutions rather than man-made solutions. So we've got a few different varieties of squash growing here in the garden, different colours, shapes and sizes, and at the moment we're just coming out of new ideas to try and use up the squashes that are coming into season now.
On Luke's menu for Raymond today is rosemary chicken with roasted butternut squash.
So the first thing we're going to do, Raymond, is we're going to dress the chicken with some of this lovely rosemary and lemon olive oil.
So what's in it?
So in there we have some lemons and some rosemary from the garden, just a little bit of olive oil, and then we've blended that up, and a little bit of seasoning in there as well.
Are you seasoning it before?
I'm going to season it a little bit on the skin, and then when we go in the pan. So I'm going to get the chicken into the pan now, skin side down always.
Nice, nice.
And we'll get rid of that.
Lovely little nose. It's just a little symphony, you know?
And I'm going to put a little bit of salt on the meat side.
Pepper.
A little bit of pepper.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
And then we'll wash our hands. Right, now while that's cooking, we're going to get this butternut squash peeled and diced.
Good luck. They're so tough, are they? They're really tough. It's nuts. It's butternuts. So interesting, of course. There's so many varieties of squash. I think there's about 1,622, something like that.
I love squashes. They're so versatile. You can do all sorts of things with them. Soups, you can roast them, cube them. And they're so robust. And it's also quite a carby vegetable as well. So you don't need too many potatoes when you've got a butternut squash.
Voila. What a beautiful color. You can see actually that is a squash which is absolutely ripe. You know you got a good squash because it's so heavy, you know. Voila. So now you're going to cut it this way. Tough, huh?
It's a very tough vegetable.
Look at that, how gorgeous it is. Look at that. Eh?
Lovely, lovely.
Nature is magical. It's artwork, no less.
All right, I'm just going to get a bowl for these seeds.
Absolutely. To give that as a gift to our gardeners, eh?
Yeah.
So we love you for it. Look at that. And that you'll have about, from sea squash, you'll have about 50 different squashes. Isn't it marvelous?
I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to dice it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to roast this with some of this lovely garlic and thyme. We're going to do quite large dices because
for texture
it's going to roast and we want it to stay in one piece.
Yeah. But you know, as a chef, to me the garden is everything. To me, the center, the heart of the house, in so much that it grows all of the food. From that humble little seed, you know, you are going to create some beautiful pumpkins, courgettes, tomatoes, whatever. And that is the greatest gift we can do, you know. Food from the garden. Food for me, the garden is a canvas on which you grow your food, your gastronomy.
It's the gift that keeps giving, isn't it?
Yes.
The chicken's looking lovely over here, got a lovely bit of colour on the skin there.
No fat, just a crisp.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I could eat the skin on its own, it tastes so great. Just so lovely and crispy when it's cooked well. So we're going to get the butternut squash on a tray, and then I'm going to get you to peel some garlic. We'll do all of that.
Yes. Et voilà, chef.
Thank you very much.
My little offering for the day.
Thank you. Can I get you to peel some garlic for me?
I can do that. Frenchman peeling garlic.
I'm just going to add a little bit of this thyme to it, just a couple of sprigs, goes a long way.
How many cloves you want?
3. I'm just going to dress this with a little bit of olive oil.
Do you want to skin?
If you could take the skin off, that would be great. And then we just want to toss this a little bit so it's nice and evenly coated in the olive oil.
Okay. The salt, pepper as well.
It's always salt and pepper.
Yeah. So my beautifully peeled garlic, okay.
So we're just going to pop that into an oven, 190 for about 20 to 25 minutes until it starts to soften and get a little bit of colour on it.
Absolutely.
Uncovered, just so, otherwise if you cover it, it just steams and it goes really mushy.
Yeah.
So, just to finish this off, we're going to just put some parchment over the top just to keep the moisture in a little bit more and keep the heat in.
Yeah, perfect.
And then I'm going to chop one of these chilies up, a few of these spring onions.
So I do this chili.
You can do the chili, chef?
Okay, you do the onions, okay. So Rio Grande cherry, very soft, very gentle. Would you want to chop it finely or in tiny little like that?
Thin slices, yes, that'd be excellent. We're not going to cook it, it's just going to go in as it is. Okay. Right, so that's all ready for the squash.
Can I mix it?
They can all mix. They're all going in together into the
Okay,
squash, so they can all stay together. And with that as well, we're going to add a little bit of lime just at the end of the butternut squash, just for a bit of freshness.
You want
Roll the lime a little bit just to break the cells and lets the juice come out a lot easier.
Okay.
So we cut that in half and that's ready to finish later.
Beautiful colours, huh? So vibrant.
The smell
Yeah. And the colours, beautiful.
reminds me of summer. So I think our chicken's ready.
Yeah.
So we can get that out and rest it, and then we can work some spinach in the same pan.
So let's go on. What do you want? Anything you want from me?
So I'm just going to wilt this spinach down.
I feel useless here. I want to help.
Do you want to cut some chives for me?
Okay, tell you. Up, half.
And then we've got our lovely squash down here.
Très bien.
And what we're going to do is we're just going to put all our chilies and spring onion through it.
Lovely. What an interesting dish it is. Of course, first it uses all the vegetables from the garden. They are organic. There's the craft of the chef. Okay, but it's interesting with this little element of Southeast Asia. Okay, with the chili. Okay, and the lamb. And I think it's going to be a very lovely fresh dish.
Bit of lime, just a little bit of acidity, and
Go for it.
make it alive.
There's so much sweetness in your squash that will help a lot. And I love it as well. Your spinach are not overcooked; they're just wilted. Keep all the freshness, the chlorophyll, and all the nutrients as well.
Yeah,
So you win all the way.
I think that's enough. We'll just get that out of the way. And then we're just going to get our chicken. Just rest it on top, and then we'll just finish with a few chives. And then we're just going to have a nice little dollop of sour cream just on the side. So if the chilies get too hot, creme fraiche would work too.
A little bit of pepper.
Lovely, chef.
I really love your dish. It's simple, it's easy to make at home. You use all the produce, okay, of that magnificent garden, and I love it very much. I think let's try the vegetables first. What I love is about the coloring of the squash, the cooking of it, it's not overcooked, and this wonderful sweetness, okay, which we have complemented with acidic, beautiful lamb. So the chicken, that's free on chicken. So look, see, nicely cooked, not dry.
Lovely.
Beautiful moisture.
But cooked through. I want to get a little bit of that crispy skin.
It's brilliant because you got the texture, the crispiness, the color. It's not a beige food, It's so alive. I think you're a genius. It's a perfect summer dish. Thank you very much. Yeah. Luc,
Pleasure
merci.
cooking for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to eat it. Thank you very much.
Coming up, Raymond will be hearing how Highgrove's plants are helping preserve ancient skills.
The Native Americans grew that, and so the seeds give a lovely purple dye.
Purple.
Yeah.
It's amazing because they're all yellow and they give a purple dye.
That's right.
And he'll be preparing a brunch classic with a fruity twist, his roasted fig pan perdu with blackberries. Welcome back to Raymond Blanc's Royal Kitchen Gardens and the Georgian grandeur of Highgrove, King Charles III's magnificent family home in Gloucestershire. Revelling in its edible riches, Raymond has shared a love letter to heritage lettuce, his salad lyonnaise. Later, Chef will be sharing a fruity take on a traditional French brunch, roasted fig pan perdu. But first, he's meeting Senior Education Manager Cassia to learn how Highgrove's newest garden is helping His Majesty's charity support traditional skills.
So, Kasia, Like you, I love gardens. I would like to discover what this huge centre all about.
Well, I love gardens too. And when we arrived here about a year and a half ago, this was all lawn. And we wanted to create a little garden, a little paradise here that supports the craft training that the Prince's Foundation delivers here.
Okay.
So I kind of thought, well, how would that work with textiles and with the woodworking, with the furniture? And a dye garden seemed the most obvious thing that we could explore. I'd never really researched dye plants before. I had a vague kind of idea of what, what was out there. But I had no idea that there are so many plants that yield so many different colours.
Okay, so I'm a very willing student. So can you show me, for example, a few plants?
This is madder, which is basically...
It looks like weeds, does it?
It is. It's like a giant sticky weed. It grows like a giant sticky weed. It's not the most attractive thing. I've cut this back once this year already, and then with all the rain that we've had, it's just gone absolutely crazy.
But that's important, that's what it does.
That's right.
And it's not the top, it's underneath.
So with this plant, I'm just going to pull a bit out here, where it's invaded the other flower bed.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh,
so this is the root.
Beautiful.
So with the madder, it's the root that you use, and that yields the dye.
What colour will it provide?
It'll give you sort of reddy, amber, those kind of colours.
Very rich, very beautiful.
It depends on what fabric you're dyeing as well, because you've got animal-based fabrics like wool and silk, and then you've got plant-based fabrics like cotton and hemp and linen. And so, depending on the fabric you're using, you will get a slightly different dye. Yeah, that's it. There you go. It's you'd see it on your fingers.
Good, huh?
When you think about how people dressed in medieval times, way back when, we think of those days as being really dark and dingy, but actually they weren't, because people had access to plants that they could dye their clothes with.
Is there any other plants you want to show which really provides like this beautiful tall sunflower?
Gorgeous, isn't it? So that's the hoppy sunflower. So the Native Americans grew that, and that gives a lovely, so the seeds give a lovely purple dye.
Purple?
Yeah.
It's amazing, because they're all yellow and they give a purple dye.
That's right.
And what is the craft you're saying?
So we also have a stonemason's shed.
Okay,
so we've been
useful.
Doing some carving, plastering, wood carving as well in there as well. So that's really good fun. Supporting those building craft trades, that's really, really, really vital at the moment, because a lot of this knowledge is dying out.
How many students go through the Prince's Foundation?
So across the organisation, about 15,000 students per year.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, and we have a really good success rate in terms of getting people into work at the end, which is what it's all about.
A little question for you. How is Her Majesty the King involved in this programme?
Well, everything that we do here is a reflection of his vision. The Prince's Foundation was set up because of his passion. And so that's what we continue.
That's wonderful. I think he's been a great mentor, really.
Definitely.
And could I qualify myself to be part of this programme?
Absolutely.
As an older boy?
We will get you signed up straight away.
Yes.
In honour of his visit to King Charles III's adored Highgrove, Chef's final dish is a salute to the magical colours of nature. Roasted fig pan perdu with blackberries.
The dish I'm about to do is actually called pain perdu with figs and blackberries, but it could be easily called bread and butter pudding with blackberries and figs. Why? Because I think in both cultures there was no waste whatsoever. Everything was used. And what a wonderful way to use it, to use stale bread and to soak it up with eggs, milk, sugar. Brilliant, so easy. And a bit of vanilla if you feel rich. So what I'm going to do is to crack my egg, a beautiful egg, organic, of course, voila. I add the sugar, add a bit of milk. Très bien. Then a tiny bit of vanilla, gives a little extra flavor. You can always add also a bit of rum, whatever you wish. And all what you do is mix everything. Just mix it up nicely, make it on the egg white. I'm going to have 4 portions here, okay? So I cut my bread to the side. I'm going to add the bread to it, just soak it up, voila, easy. Just make sure that the bread is totally impregnated with this beautiful egg mixture and milk. Meanwhile, I'm going to, because I'm going to do it very much the English way, I'm going to toast it in 40 grams of butter. I'm going to brown it beautifully so it's lovely and crusty and appetizing. Colors, beige is not appetizing. A beautiful dark gold is really appetizing. So that's very nicely done here. I'm going to keep it now. It's good. It's nicely soaked. Oh, I can already, the gastric juices starts running. I can already taste it. So there's the bread. Voila. So soak it up nicely. My butter is melting nicely. I want it slightly brown to give a lovely color to this bread. If I put it in here now, no color. If I wait until the butter is slightly hazelnut, you'll have a fantastic taste and color. So now my bread is nicely soaked here. C'est joli. It's beautifully hazelnut. So now we're ready to toast. Très bien. Et voilà. What a beautiful sizzling nose. So appetizing when you hear that nose. Très bien. So that will take about 4 or 5 minutes each side. Voila, nice color. Oh, that's beautiful. So now my eggy bread is ready. It's got gorgeous, appetizing colors. And that's the first stage of the cooking, okay? We're going to cook them further, crusting inside, but inside is not cooked, so you want to cook the eggs. I'm going to keep them and bake them later for about 15 minutes, no more. So the whole eggy bread is cooked through. I'm going now to take those figs and I'm going to do a little incision. So you got this gorgeous flesh inside. Look at that, how beautiful ripe it is. So preparing the figs is easy. Cut the hard bit. Try to keep a little bit because I found that very beautiful. It's attractive. And then you just cut a little bit. And the heat will permeate nicely inside this lovely fruit. So now what I'm going to do is I've got my 8 figs which I've cut nicely, you can see. That will allow perfect cooking. I'm going to place them here, side by side, nice and close together. Up. Voilà. Très bien. And then what I'm going to do is a bit of water to brush them in a bit of water. I want the sugar to stick to it, okay? I'm going to add, there's 15 grams of sugar, I'm going to add half of it in here, see? And you can see the sugar sticking very nicely. And I've got my blackberries, so they need to be ripe. Like that fig, if it's not ripe, you have no flavor. So there I put my blackberries. Voilà. And I put the rest of sugar. Voilà. So there's one more thing I'm going to do is to add a little bit of butter onto my figs. There's only 15 grams of butter. Just inside the fig. Voila. So that brings a bit of richness. That will also thicken the jus as well and gives a little extra richness. You can do it without butter, but I feel it's help a little bit. Now, a bit of water. You should create the steam as well and create a beautiful little syrup. Très bien. So now I'm going to roast my figs and my blackberries for about 8 to 12 minutes. That's 170 degrees. So here we are. That's hot, 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 hot. Voila. A beautiful autumnal treat or late summer treat. You got a beautiful pain perdu, crusty and gorgeous. The figs are ripe. They get their juice. So you must have all wondered what's in that bowl. It's figs which are roasted with the blackberries, a bit of sugar, lemon juice, and pureed. Okay, voila, that's ready here. I've got my wonderful, oh, I'll take that one, I like that one, yes. Voila. Look how these colors are so lively, so beautiful. My gorgeous figs, so bursting, they're so beautifully ripe. Voila. Oh, which one's the best? I'll take the little one here. Très bien. And I've got this lovely jus to put around with the blackberries. Oh, well done, Raymond. And of course, with that, you can serve a beautiful ice cream and you'll be in heaven. Fig heaven. Et voilà. So my dish is actually pain perdu, or eggy bread, according to culture, with beautiful blackberries and fat, ripe figs. Bon appétit. What a wonderful place to call home. What I love the most about this place, Highgrove, these extraordinary gardens, grown organically, no chemicals whatsoever, surrounded by great professionals who love what they're doing, who work with nature, who work around a philosophy of total care for nature. I have seen beautiful varieties. I've learned so much here, and I really look forward to come back very soon.